Welcome to the Design Icons podcast, where we talk to creative leaders about work, life, and beyond. Design Icons is brought to you by Noun Project, the world's most diverse and extensive collection of icons and photos for every project. Today, we'll dive into the journey of Grace Ling, a young designer and creative leader with tips on how to build a personal brand that leads to more opportunities and a bigger network. Grace is the founder of Design Buddies, a massive design community hosted both online and in real-life events. She is a designer, illustrator, community builder, content creator, competitive runner, and a world traveler with visits to over 40 countries stamped on her passport. She's built a huge personal brand across various social media networks and spoken at over 100 events. She's also been featured in the New York Times Square and Wall Street Journal. Grace's career includes several design roles at Electronic Arts, or EA. This episode features a live conversation with Grace, where over 100 attendees joined to listen in. We cover how to get started with building a personal brand, what to focus on as you grow, and what to avoid as well. We started with Grace's background story.
So I grew up in this town called Cupertino, California. Known as Apple, or people call it Silicon Valley. So like everyone, growing up, you need to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer, or failure. But meanwhile, I want to be an artist. My parents were terrified of that. I just like drawing kawaii anime art. I played this game called MapleStory. It's the best game. So MapleStory is actually what inspired my whole career. MapleStory is this MMORPG, which stands for Massive Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Game, where you can be a mage, a warrior, and fight monsters. It's like a social club, and I played a lot of MapleStory. I was actually max level on it. I was this 14-year-old girl leading 30-year-old dudes around expeditions and boss battles and stuff. So it was pretty lit. So it was a huge part of my childhood, and it inspired me to draw, the art, the music, the level design, inspired me to later work in the gaming industry. But before arriving to the gaming industry, I succumbed to the pressures of me caring too much about other people think of me. So I studied bioengineering and computer science in college, because in high school, actually, this is so random, but I used to be a couch potato, and then my mom paid me $6 an hour to go to the gym with her, and then that's how I got really fast at running. I went to nationals almost for 5 minutes in a mile, wanted to be an Olympic runner, and was run maxing all the way. Still hold a bunch of my school records to this day, and that's why I studied bioengineering, because I told everyone I was pre-med, because I thought they would think I'm really smart or something. I told everyone when I graduated high school, I wanted to be a pre-med neurosurgeon, MD, PhD, to study neuroscience, to biohack myself to run faster, something like that. So that was Grace exactly 10 years ago. So I entered college exactly 10 years ago today, actually, in 2015. And yeah, and I hated it. I high key was just pre-med is just so much memorizing stuff, which it makes sense because a doctor, you need to know a lot of things, but my brain ain't working that way. And I later switched to computer science because I want to make games, and obviously Silicon Valley, both my parents are engineers. They do CS, they do coding, fancy stuff. And I was okay, I guess my parents are like that. They pre-pressure me to be computer science engineer people too. So okay, and then I took on CS. I changed my major to CS, and I was the slowest person in my class to finish all the labs because I just sucked at it. I was just so bad, and I did some internships in that. So one of my first tech internships was actually a virtual reality robotic surgery game developer intern at Intuitive Surgical, which makes the robot surgery on the grape. And it was fun, but oh my god, everyone's so formal and but super cracked, and I was so slow at it. I was just I want to go home. I want to draw. It was kind of sad. And then when I graduated college in 2019, I did a master's in computer science, actually, because I wanted to didn't really know what I want to do with my life. So I was okay, I'll just get a master's, because my parents both have PhD, so they were you should get a PhD. I'm okay, I guess I'll do a master's, maybe I'll do a PhD, I don't know yet. And then I found UX design for some reason. I found UX design probably on a Facebook group, because it was a job I was really attracted to, because it pays really well and you don't even need a code, and you can be creative and artistic. And I was I love drawing, I love solving problems. So I was boom, UX design. But I got ghosted everywhere. like I was just like so sad, so much imposter syndrome, like really sad. Like I just like wasted my whole major, just really, really sad. And then I made this during COVID. I like made design buddies on Discord, and now we have almost 100,000 members. But back then, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like bunnies, design, we. It grew a lot, and then I just like I was like, oh, what if I just make myself really famous, I guess, and just like document my journey on LinkedIn, and then maybe these recruiters and hiring managers will notice me. Senpai will finally notice me. So Senpai did notice me, and I landed my first job as a UX designer at Electronic Arts, EA. And it was like honestly like one of my dream jobs because I played a lot of Sims growing up, and it was really fun. Had a really great time. Worked on like marketing stuff. So yeah, but then 4 years I was in the same job for almost 4 years, and honestly like I get bored really easily. But the reason why I didn't switch job was I don't like interviewing. I don't like update my portfolio. I don't like to interview. It's just like scary. So I just stayed there. I got kind of like bored low key. um yeah, and then I later quit and did design buddies. On the side, I've been running design buddies just like on the side for the past like 5 years. And I decided to take a chance on myself and see what I can do full-time design buddies. And then design buddies, now we have full-time 4 employees, and we build products and services for designers. We do like AI productivity tools, we do cohorts, we make content. I've been making a lot of memes and rage bait, and what I'm really passionate about right now these days is content and personal branding and creativity and stuff. So I'm personally like making more content on LinkedIn. I also have a podcast on the side of this called How Creators Make Money, where I talk shop about how creators are making money in other ways beyond brand deals, negotiation skills, and more, and growing my personal brand. I'm also based in LA right now, living in a creator house. I'm trying to get more into like acting and modeling. I really want to get into comedy. That'll be kind of fun. So yeah, I guess like my journey is like a lot of random things. And I'm still doing a lot of random things. And my advice to people who have a lot of random interests is you should pursue all of them, because if people tell you you need like be laser focused on one thing, but you have so many interests, they're wrong.
From there, we turn to her personal brand. Grace has become a recognizable voice in the design community, building an audience of impressive size. She reflected on just how she got there and what it took to grow that following.
I feel like this mindset helped me get to where I am today, and I'm still working on it, is the lack of caring about what other people think of me and taking every piece of criticism as like constructive feedback. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but growing up, I was like a really awkward kid. Like I was like the jock, but also the nerd, and I had like barely any friends in school. So I posted my kawaii art, like anime art on DeviantArt and running adventures on Tumblr, because I kept like I almost flunked language arts, so I was like really bad at writing. So I started writing every day on Tumblr, and then 10,000 people followed me, and I started doing brand deals when I was like 16, 17 years old. So that helped me like build a strong foundation of writing, speaking to people, writing as a way to like communicate, writing to process my thoughts, writing to be a better communicator and speaker. So writing helped me a lot, and copywriting is like a skill like everyone needs in this day. And that like that stuff, and showing up and not being getting a lot of like hate comments when I'm a kid helped me build like a really thick skin, because like I was just like a 16-year-old kid, like spewing about my insecurities online. So obviously these trolls came to me, and I thought it was kind of cute. But at first I was just like traumatized, but like it's okay. And realizing that like I feel like a lot of people who want to make content and show up online are really scared of what other people think of them. But just think about all these like negative comments, like they can be like actually like real critical feedback, that constructive feedback that you can like use to improve yourself. Or they could just be really sad, a failure in life, living in their mom's basement, and just need to like tear other people down. So just having that mentality helped me a lot. Yeah, and I actually like stopped making content in college because I thought I wanted to be an MD, PhD, bioengineering, computer science nerd, whatever, and I needed to like lock in founder mode, grindset mindset on that stuff. And so I was kind of sad. And then like during COVID 2020, I started like posting on LinkedIn. That's when I started posting on LinkedIn. Was in 2020. I started posting like once a week at first. I was just like trying to document my journey into UX design. Like I saw a lot of people start posting on LinkedIn during that time about the life, their struggles, the events they were going to. It was like, oh, this is so cool. LinkedIn feels very human. It reminded me of like early days where I post on Tumblr back in like when I was a kid. So I just started posting on it, and then I started posting like once a week, and then like last year when I quit my job, I started posting like 5 days a week. So I still post 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, depending on how much inspiration I get. So showing up every day on LinkedIn, but also like not limiting to yourself to a niche. Because I feel like all these like gurus or whatever, they're like, you need to find a niche, blah, 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 blah. Which I agree to a certain extent. Like, I feel like having a niche is good to grow initially, but you're much more than that. And I'm trying to, like, for me right now, what's top of mind is showing up on social media as myself and having people like me, just for who I am, not because of what I do. Because I actually have like an existential crisis last week because I've been getting feedback about. I also made a LinkedIn post about it yesterday, and like a
I
TikTok video
saw.
about it.
I love
Yeah,
that post. I love that
thank
post.
you,
Yeah.
thank you. I was just like having an existential crisis because so many people were like really mad at me for not posting that much design career content anymore. Because like as a creator, you always like learn and evolve as a person, and just because the person you were like a year ago, last week, it doesn't mean it's the person you are today. So I had a really deep reflection of that. Like for design buddies, like TLDR was like I want to cry when people ask me to pick my brain about design career now. not like that way, but like I've like literally had people come up to me at events and just kind of like chase me down to like, get me to review their portfolio, and I was really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind giving career advice, but just like I just like don't want my entire identity. Like I'm much more than like how to get a job stuff.
Grace opened up on her personal journey to growing her audience and finding the right people.
When I was a kid, like on DeviantArt, I think it was pretty slow. Tumblr was faster though. I feel like DeviantArt, I just post my anime art, and then sometimes I'll do like fan art and art trades and art competitions, and I'll win and get like an influx of followers, or like they call them watchers on DeviantArt. Um, and then I'm still friends with some people to this day. Like we connected on Facebook back in the day because that was the only social media that existed when I was in
Yeah.
the like 2010.
Yeah.
I still have them on Facebook. They still like my posts, so I'm like really honored by that. I still post them. I still think Facebook is cool. Not for boomers. It's still pretty litty on there. Yeah. Tumblr though, it was like I feel like this was like 10 years ago. So I'm trying to remember. It was pretty like steady, like pretty consistent. But I noticed like if I posted something more vulnerable, like about how I had a bad day or like how I got a bad grade, or I felt really sad because I didn't feel included in this friend group, then people would follow me more. Cause like I was just
Yeah.
like, I feel like a lot of people have insecurities, which is like totally human, but they see everyone have such a happy persona online, but sharing like your vulnerabilities, like something bad that happened and how you reflected on it helps people feel heard. And that is what got me the most followers actually. So I started
Yeah.
the same thing on LinkedIn because we're all human. Like I have bad days, we all have bad days. It's totally okay. Life happens, something bad happens, and it's all part of the journey, and just enjoying all of it and being really vulnerable about that on LinkedIn helped a lot. Like that post I made about how I got feedback saying that I'm no longer helpful for junior designers anymore. I actually got that like a year ago, but I felt like pretty hurt by that, and I was like, you know what, I should post that and say that I agree to it, and just like own up to what everything I'm dealing with right now. So vulnerability, being yourself, storytelling, talking about like having a good hero's journey in your story in your LinkedIn post also does pretty well on LinkedIn. There's also the classic how to get a job content that sometimes, I'm human. I like getting the dopamine rush of like influx of new followers and likes and comments. So if I feel like I haven't had a post I did well recently, I would just like hit up a old post I did about design career stuff and get like an instant dopamine hit of like several hundred more followers, and I feel happy because I am human and I like shiny metrics.
If you're enjoying this podcast, you might also love exploring millions of beautiful icons and photos at nounproject.com. Our community of designers and photographers from over 120 countries is building the most diverse and extensive collection of icons and photos ever created. Since 2010, Noun Project has been the go-to choice for the world's top brands and best designers. Check us out free today at nounproject.com. We talked about the doors that building a personal brand has opened, from new clients to career opportunities to unexpected income streams. She shared what the upside has looked like for her personally, too.
It has helped me quit my big tech job, to be honest
There you go.
with you.
Yeah.
Like the brand deals on LinkedIn pay so much compared to other platforms. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, like I get paid between $1,000 to $5,000 per sponsored post.
Wild.
And if I do, I've been doing like one to two a week. So
Okay.
that
Wow.
is pretty good. Um, this is like outside Design Buddies stuff.
Yeah.
So when I before I quit my corporate job, I was actually making more money through brand deals. Like a lot of it on LinkedIn, Instagram design than my corporate job actually. So that's actually why I quit because I wanted to take a chance on myself. None of this was very reoccurring and sustainable, but I was like YOLO it. I was like in my mid 20s. I was having quarter life crisis. I was like, what am I doing climbing this corporate ladder? I feel sad. I mean, like, but as a disclaimer, like, I don't think working a job is like a bad thing. Like, I learned so much at EA. I really appreciate my time there. And I wouldn't be where I am today without that job. But I just like didn't see myself succeeding in a role where I had to conform or like be super hierarchical, and stuff like that. It works for some people, but it just doesn't work for me, and it's okay. It doesn't work for you either. But some people like succeed in more structured environments. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So I quit my job because it helped me make more money, but also more importantly than money, it helped me meet cool people like you, Nick. And and yeah, and like I met so many awesome in person, like in real life friends through LinkedIn, like for example, this creator house I'm living in LA right now. Lance was actually the my friend who's started it. He followed me on LinkedIn, and he approached me at an event, and we talked for like an hour. So like LinkedIn honestly have helped me like increase my social circle and help me like meet really really cool, ambitious, and interesting people. So I highly recommend just showing up on LinkedIn, being yourself, cause and don't hold back in posting anything you want, cause like not everyone's your target audience, and you can just attract people that will vibe with you.
Naturally, I had to know more about the brand deals, so I asked Grace to open up on that a little bit.
Yeah, lately been mostly design companies, and then recently I've been doing more with like creator economy stuff. For example, I have some coming up with like
Cool.
Sprout Social, Notion, HubSpot, all that stuff. So like I'm trying to grow my brand. I still handle a lot of brand deals for Design Buddy side. So a lot of companies like Adobe, Framer, Spline,
Yeah.
all that, all awesome, Bolt, Replit, all these awesome companies. I still handle that side, but I'm also trying to grow my own personal brand
Hmm.
and kind of like I don't know. This might be like bad advice for a founder, but I am more of like a lifestyle founder. I like diversifying like a lot of things I do and not putting all my eggs into one basket. Just like in case Design Buddies crashes and burns, I still have my own content. In case I can like in case I don't think cancellation is like a real thing anymore. But just in case like I get banned on LinkedIn and I can't get it back, I still got Design Buddies. So in my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, my YouTube, everything else. So I always just try to diversify everything I do. Just like how you diversify your investments, how not investment advice, but like just diversify your investments. You diversify like what you spend your time in, what you invest in.
Grace talked about those just getting started in their creative journey. She offered advice to designers and makers still early in the process of building a brand and shared what she wishes she had known at the beginning.
Yeah, it depends on your goals actually. Like if you're trying to land a job, then for example, if you want to land a job in like the gaming industry or finance, the gaming industry, usually people are a bit more playful, more open-minded, and more just like creative. So you want to show that part of yourself to show that you think in terms of like how people think in that job. And if you want to work in finance, everyone's like kind of more serious, more like suits and ties, button up. So you want to appear that way. So it depends. I would say like your personal brand is like the aura of you and how you want to show up on LinkedIn. It's like if you're looking for a job, then you kind of need to mold yourself to like the hiring manager's expectations to maximize your chances of getting that job. But if you're a content creator, like you just want to like grow following and just like make friends, then and attract brands to sponsor your stuff and just be yourself because honestly like brands are smart. They can see if the creator is not authentically being authentic, and yeah, so it just kind of really depends on your goals and designing your aura and personal brand and how you show up based on those goals.
And that all sounds great, but I had to ask, where is step one? Where do we actually start?
Yeah, depends on like just tap into like find what you're interested in and just like start making content. I feel like with content creation, it's all like a reflection of yourself. So like personal brand is like how you show up on LinkedIn. So recommend all of you right now, or maybe make sure you listen to the end. But right after this LinkedIn live, write a LinkedIn post like introducing yourself, talk about your interests and your passions and what your goals are, and verbalizing your goals so people can help you. And just make your goals known to everyone. Like for example, when I was trying to land my job, first UX design job, I just told everyone like, "Hello, I'm looking for a job. Please help. I am new. I'm a student. I'm baby. Please help." So like that helped. Yeah, just making your goals known and also like making your interests known and also like sharing your insights. Like for example, if you're even if you're early in career, you can still share like advice that will help people who might be younger than you. For example, you just graduated from college, you probably have a lot of advice to share people just entering college, or like in high school and stuff. So there's always like, I feel like personal brand is like showing up for yourself and also like giving value to other people, like sharing, feels like buzzwords, but like sharing like practical advice that other people can like learn from you and like use to help in your life. So just share something up. Like those are two post ideas for you to start posting on LinkedIn today. Not sponsored by LinkedIn, but I love it. I love posting on LinkedIn. It's done a lot for me, and I hope it does the same for you.
Not everything has been easy. Grace also reflected on the challenges of putting herself out there as a creative leader. She spoke about the harder moments and whether there were any regrets along the way.
Oh, regret. My only regret in life was I spent too much time studying and trying to climb the corporate ladder and not living a life. I was like sad, locked in my room, laser focused on that one thing. So I regret, I feel like I didn't really have a fun childhood, honestly, because of that. I like,
Mm.
like how people say the college are supposed to be like your best years of my life. They're my worst, actually, to be honest with y'all. And that's why I am the way I am today, because I'm making up for lost time. I'm really sad that I missed out on, because I literally had like no friends that I feel like that I can like regularly text, or just like I feel like most of my friends these days are friends I've made in the last 3 years. Really focusing on the relationships and stuff. Um, yeah, and I feel like just regrets. Let me think. There's one, but I kind of like mentioned it earlier about like being too much of a one niche, but I kind of needed to be that one niche to grow. But my only regret in life was just like just being too focused on one thing, and like treating my own success as my self-worth and treating my job title as my self-worth, because I was so proud of working at EA. Like I flex it everywhere, like, and then people started referencing me as like I can talk to Grace to get a job at EA or something, and that felt like really sad because I'm more than like EA. um yeah, that's the only regret. I try not to live life without regrets because everything happens for a reason. But if I had to change one thing, I would just like have more fun in life and not be too hard on myself.
I asked Grace if she had any unconventional advice to get an unfair advantage as a designer or creative leader.
Joining events also helps if you have like design events in your city. Those are really great to meet people too. Um, what kind of unconventional advice? Uh, don't judge people based on their job title. Like, don't judge yourself based on your job title. Like, everyone's just like human, and your job title shouldn't be you. And just live a fun life, and don't be afraid of what other people think of you, and just show up as yourself because you'll attract the right people.
We talked about the future. Grace shared her perspective on where the design world is headed. She talked about the skills that she believes designers should be sharpening right now.
Yeah, definitely. Being really uniquely yourself on LinkedIn. But honestly, like, I feel like there's a lot of fear mongering on LinkedIn and on Twitter and among like LinkedIn about how designers are cooked. I don't think they're cooked. So ignore the noise and focus on being a really good designer. Like, everyone will say like, "Oh my God, AI is gonna destroy designers," but I don't think it's gonna, in my opinion, like I don't think it's gonna go away. So just focus on like being really good at design, having good taste, having good skills, improving your craft, having good visual design, typography design, color theory, and knowing the fundamentals, and just being focused on being a good designer and ignoring the noise.
As the founder of Design Buddies, the conversation naturally turned to community.
Surrounding yourself with a diverse group of people is really good. For example, like if all of your friends like are thinking one thing and it's like a group think situation, that's like a bad thing. So just like surrounding myself with like so many people with different walks of life and so many ways of thinking, people who disagree with each other, and just like yes, yeah, just like learning more and not just having like only designer friends or like only tech friends, but just having friends of everybody and everyone.
Grace talked about how Design Buddies came to be, how she found herself creating a space for designers, and where she envisions it heading next.
Honestly, I don't know what I'm building towards, but I'm just maximizing towards fun and or
Love it.
maxing enjoying life every day. That's what I'm building towards. But how we started was I was just like bored, honestly. Like I was like 22. I was like in my parents' house and I just graduated from college. I was like in the middle of grad school during the pandemic, during Zoom University, and I wanted to like learn design. Like I kept getting ghosted by hiring managers and recruiters. So I was just like, I'm just gonna like learn and see how I can like make this happen. And we got our first 1,000 members within 1 month, actually. And we
Wow,
hosted
that's
like,
crazy.
yeah, we hosted like a bunch of events. We actually got Zoom bombed our first event, but that's another story. And we just like started, just like I started like finding ways to designing ways so people can um, connect with each other and meet each other. So we started sharing like useful things. So meetups, feedback sessions, like workshops with design tool companies like Figma, Adobe to teach them useful skills, design challenges so they improve the design skills, get feedback. So I just try to build something people want. And our Discord's like the most active it's ever been 5 years later, actually. So I just try to like show up. I try to be a participant in my community. I still like spend a lot of time chatting in there with people in there too. 5 years later to this day, I try to be part of the community myself. And yeah, we also done a lot of in-person events. Like last year, I had a quarter life crisis, quit my job, traveled the world for 6 months, and I hosted meetups in 10 different countries across 4 continents. So that in-person aspect is really cool too. Like a lot of people find us from in-person events. But honestly, like, community is like honestly just mostly America because we speak English. Like, it's mostly like America and UK, and Singapore, and India too. But I we try to like show up in other places too, just to help everyone learn design. Um, yeah, and where it's going, well, we have 4 full-time people on our team. We do education, we do products, and I don't know where it's going. We're just trying to be fun and hopefully you enjoy Design Buddies. We are the largest design community in the world, by the way, because I can't think of a larger one. So it would be cool to stay that way. Thank you. So I appreciate y'all for helping Design Buddies become the largest. It like honestly like boosts my ego a lot, but more importantly, like I feel like it also impacts a lot of people, and it's just fun. I just yeah, just stay tuned. Like, join our Discord, start our newsletter, because I'm always doing random things, and join to be part of the random fun.
Grace is well known for throwing exceptional events, so I had to ask her more about how she does that and what she gets out of them.
I just like hosting events. I don't really think too hard on events. I just like think about like how do I gather cool people, and how do I maximize luck for these people, and how do I like help them show up, and how do I help them like create a fun environment. For example, like our events, like especially we have public events and private events. I'm really strict in vetting people. I had to make sure that I like them, just like I just like them. They have good vibes. I usually like never really dislike people unless they do something terrible. But if they have good vibes, they are part of a community. They're interesting. They have a lot of passions. They're not boring to talk with. Then they're welcome. And their plus ones are also welcome. And that's their plus ones are actually how I like meet more people too. So yeah, I try to like, but also like invite other people. Like I post about our events on LinkedIn, and for example, if someone like regularly comments on my posts, or like messages me, and I've known them for a bit, like online, I'll still invite them to my event. For public events, usually I also make them approval only. They just have to like make sure they fill out the form so I know what they do, and they put in some intention and thought into signing up for the event. So they're there to like it's a good time for them too. So they're there with intention. But I feel like with events, it's like important to curate the room, and that's the most important thing. And usually, like if people are interesting, they will entertain themselves. So I don't think too much about programming; they'll entertain themselves.
At this point, you're probably wondering, how can I keep up with Grace?
I just reached 10K on Instagram last night, actually. So I was really happy with that
Congrats.
on my person.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like Instagram was kind of challenging to grow, like my personal account, because I don't have a niche. It's just me showing up as myself. So I'm really proud that we reached 10K. I grew my other accounts, like our art account, Design Buddies account, 10K like way like in under a year, like way so much faster. But my personal account is one I'm actually most proud of because I make fun videos. I try to show up myself. So hopefully we can connect on there. And as I run Grace Pace, IRUNGRACEPACE. So Instagram, LinkedIn, love to be friends with y'all. I'm also like I have a YouTube channel too. I have a TikTok. I also have a podcast called How Creators Make Money. We are on YouTube and Spotify, but all the links are in my LinkedIn bio. And then Design Buddies. I assume everyone here is like a creator or designer, or anyone honestly interested in design can join. So we're just designbuddies.community or discord.gg/design buddies in our newsletter too.
What I really love about this conversation is how honest Grace is. She is her own self. She brings her whole self to the community that she's built and her own personal brand too. And I think people really love that about her. That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in to Design Icons, and we'll see you next time.